Hey guys, it's Lassie here from Supraletics. I just missed the train by like 20 seconds. And I thought this is actually a good time to talk about something that I think is really important and helpful for myself. Namely, how to deal with negative emotions that stop you from achieving your goals and stop you from being disciplined. So this, for example, is a great example of missing the train is something that I would have in the past, I would have ruminated about, I would have gotten stressed, and I would complain about why did it happen, whatever. But since I started practicing mindfulness, what has happened is that nowadays I can recognize these negative emotions as they arise in that moment, and I can deal with them very effectively. So now I told myself, well, I missed the train, it is what it is, I can't change the fact by just being negative about it. The train still went, and there will be a next train. So who cares? I'll just wait for the next one, and I'll make this video instead. So what I wanted to actually talk about is that a couple of things. There's a nice book called Deep Work that we will talk more in the future. But in Deep Work, the author is basically saying that there are two behavioral patterns that humans do quite often that is harmful for their happiness. And one of those patterns is avoidance. We avoid doing the hard thing because it's hard. So a good example is that during a workout, you start to get the negative emotion of doing the workout. The lactic acid is building up and it hurts and whatnot. And so the typical response is to just go with your emotion. Your childish mind is starting to tell you things like, oh, you shouldn't do this, it's hard, it's you don't have to do this, you're fit enough already, you could just go be home and take it easy, you can do this later. And if you let emotion dictate you and guide you through your life, you're going to be on autopilot all the time, and actually that avoidance is going to lead to dissatisfaction. You're not going to feel good about yourself. For example, cleaning your home is one of those things. I hate cleaning, so I'm putting it away, but I don't feel good about putting it away. In fact, it just makes me feel worse. So what to do? You need to teach yourself to recognize that emotion as it arises and deal with it straight away. This is at the core of mindfulness, is this ability to recognize emotions and feelings as they arise and then do something about it. So for example, now I used to get very anxious about dealing with email. It was one of my biggest sources of stress. Well, nowadays I don't get anxious about, or I do still get anxious about it, but as soon as that feeling arises, what do? I've learned to recognize that emotion, and it is a trigger for me to immediately go and deal with my inbox and clean it up and just get it over and done with. And it has transformed. But what's the secret here? There's nothing complicated about it. The secret is recognizing the emotion and then acting on it. Most people are on autopilot. They don't recognize what's happening. Well, the second thing that Deep Work is talking about is grasping. And that's something that I could be talking about right now. Last week I was in Finland and it was wonderful. I was in my parents' place, which is a summer paradise essentially. And on the way back home, back to Sweden, I thought, the summer was a bit short this year. I hope it had been longer. I hope there had been more sunny days. Well, the thing is that I've taught myself to recognize these negative emotions straight away. So it only lasted like 2 seconds. And I immediately recognized it and I told myself, hey, wait a second, Lassie. Autumn is a reality of nature. You can't change the weather through wishful thinking. It's just what it is. Just accept it as it is. And grasping applies to every aspect of your life. You might be grasping to your past relationship. You had a fantastic partner that maybe passed away, or you broke up or whatever, and you are still bitter about what happened. Or you might be grasping to your past fitness and health. Something that you were healthy when you were 16, and you were strong, and you were oozing testosterone and other good hormones. Well, the reality is that those things are the past, and today is what it is. All the decisions and events in the world have led to the situation where you are right now, and grasping to that past is only going to make you miserable. It's not going to make you feel good about the moment where you are right now. So just accept the moment you live in as it is. You can't change the past, and that acceptance actually leads to a kind of it discharges the moment. So you don't feel bad about what's happening, even if the situation is negative. I remember vividly my time in the military, for example. It's a great example of when people typically can turn either into whiny bitches and complain about the hardship of life and the hardship of labor, or they can just accept it as what they need to do in that moment, and then get on with it. And that, how you think about things transforms how you feel about things. Thinking transforms how you feel about things. And so the same thing with fitness. I accept myself as I am now. I recognize that I'm not 16 years old anymore, so I can't expect maybe the same response from workouts that I did back then. But at the same time as I'm accepting, it doesn't mean that I'm happy about being unfit. In fact, I try to envision a bigger, better, stronger future. I try to envision myself being even better and try to think about the steps that take me there. But so you can achieve those both things at the same time. You can be accepting of who you are, where you are, what you are, and then you can still imagine an even better future and then work towards that. So you can, I think you can completely achieve two things at the same time. Be happy and live in the moment, be who you are, and then work towards your goals. Anyways, I think the train is probably coming in about a minute, so see, it wasn't that bad. The train came, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope a couple of these techniques will be helpful for you as well, because I can really say that mindfulness and these techniques that I've just briefly talked about here, they have transformed the way I can respond to stressful situations, difficult people, everything in my life. It has transformed my working life. It has transformed my workouts and everything. So I'll see you in the future videos. Please leave a comment below if you liked. Please subscribe and have a lovely day.